Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Today we are here with week 9 of the hashtag 52 projects. Now, if this is your first week visiting us, welcome. If you've been here for all 9 weeks, welcome back. So 52 projects is a series I'm doing on my Facebook page, Coffee, Cake, and Crafting, just to kind of give you inspiration and to keep your crafty mojo flowing. They're quick, easy projects. They're random from Instagram, YouTube, Google, my friends, wherever I find them from, whatever's interesting stuff I make up, that's what we're doing. So this week we are going to do a cute little St. Patrick's Day gift set, if you will. It is this sweet little box and a 3x3 note card. Okay, so I know a lot of you are wondering why I picked a box because I make a million boxes. This one has a little bit different technique, and so now I'm trying to get some more techniques along with these fun projects. So that's why I picked this box. It's a very simple box, but you're going to see the good technique. Okay, so for those of you who are visual learners, go ahead and write down the information, the box, the lid, the card. Most of us know how to make a 3x6 card, but I wrote it down just in case. So this was from Angie. She's Stamping with Amore here on YouTube. And this is her St. Patrick's Day treat box and card set. So that's what we're going to do. And if you want to go a little further, instead of just making one card, you can make a full set, like 4 of the same cards, and gift that to your person so they can give out to whomever. Some of the other products that I'm using Gumball Green from Stampin' Up. I'm using this Good Luck stamp, and it was from the I Say Hello stamp set. I think I won this at bingo. So I'm using that. I used some Stampin' Up green glitter paper. This is old glitter paper. It came like this. And now I know why I was on the clearance rack, because let me tell you, when I say I am covered in glitter, I am covered in glitter. So not exactly loving that part of it, but it does look beautiful. So I guess that's all that counts. I did use this Sizzix heart. It came with my sidekick. I did not have the small heart that Angie used. If you don't have a heart, oh man. If you don't have a heart. If you don't have a heart die or a heart punch, just make yourself a template. You know, we all know how to do it. Fold the paper in half, cut out. And you can do it as big or as small as you want. I like the big size because that way you don't have to do any more decoration on it. So I noticed that one of my hearts is missing a little piece right there. That's going to bother me, so I'm just going to redo that heart real quick and you guys can watch. I have my sidekick here. Throw it in my plates. Now, with this project, you can get your box base, all 8 of your hearts, and your 3x3 card base, all out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. And then you still have some extra on the side in case you want to make, if you want to get real fancy with it. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. Okay, so go ahead and do all your 8 hearts. Cut your base, which if you saw on the cheat sheet, the base is 6x6. And those are all going to be in green. Now, for those of you who have been with me since the beginning, you know I am not a green fan. I don't know, something about primary color green, it's not my favorite. So I went with a different green here. I don't know what green this is, but it's a little bit darker green. I do like the darker greens. I'm not a fan of primary green, but I wanted to share. I'm growing. I can do it. You know, sometimes we gotta do stuff. Okay, so that's my box bottom, 6x6. Your box lid, I chose white. You can do, it's 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, so that's that. your card, you know, it's the regular 3x6 card base, scored at 3 on the long side, and fold it in half. It's our card base. Now I went ahead and matted mine. I did 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 because I like this little tiny border. If you want a bigger border, you can actually do it, you know, whatever you want. I'll do the inside for the bigger border so you can see what it looks like, and if you like it, you know, whichever way. Some people like that 1/4 of an inch border, so they're going to do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I will show you what that looks like in 1 second. I feel like I missed. Nope, I didn't. Okay. I thought I missed a side. So this is the 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and this is the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm not gonna lie, I tend to make my mats inside smaller because you have to write less. That's the only reason. Sometimes we just don't have a lot to say. Okay. So there you go. So whichever look you like, this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. It's your preference. You could do both, and then if you don't like it, guess what? Now that's your front. So you can pick options, right? All right, so since we're already on the card, we might as well do the card first. If you wanted to add some extra pizzazz, Angie had stripe paper. I do not have stripe paper, so what I did is I just cut some strips of paper that I had left over from a different project that were in the recycle bin, and just add those strips. I'm not going to do that with this card. I'm just going to let the be the focal point. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get some foam tape here and use my foam tape sides. And you need 4 hearts. And basically what we're going to do is just put them like this. That's what we're going to create, okay? So I think it looks really cute. Yes, there's going to be a big old gap in the middle. However, our little banner is going to cover that, or whatever you put in the middle. So I'm going to make this a little bit more fancy, and then we'll put it together. Okay, so all I did was I took my gold glitter jelly roll marker pen thing, and I just stitched the edges. I didn't quite let it dry, so some of it smudged. That's okay. These are the same jelly rolls that we all went and bought a couple years ago when Amazon had the flash sale of those. And they came like 10 in a pack, and you got them for like $2 or something like that. You know. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add some foam tape to the back of these. I use all parts of my foam dots. These just happen to be Stampin' Up! Ones. But you can use, you know, this is foam tape. I use the edges, I use the middles. Why not? Okay. Definitely let your pen completely dry. So there's a couple different ways you can slightly lay this down, just kind of drop it so that way your foam tape is not adhered, so that way you can place it wherever you want. I find when I don't really care, like if I'm just placing something, it comes out perfect every time, and when I think about it, it's not perfect. So that's just how it works. So in this case, I need to move it over just slightly. I need an edge. Usually I have my work mat, so hold on, I'm going to use the edge of my table to center this bottom one, and then I'll bring it back up. Just going to kind of work it in, and it does not have to be perfect. See, I'm overthinking it, now I can't do it. Here we go. There you go. Don't worry about that gap because we're about to cover it up. So I just took a piece of white paper and my stamp set, and I'm just gonna go for it. You can get out your Misty or whatever you have, but I'm just going for it. And you know what? I might as well go ahead and stamp the other one. So all I did was just stamp and stamp. I do have a grid mat that I put down, but my camera doesn't like it, so I have to move it when I'm doing tutorials. Okay. So because I did the gold, I did go ahead and cut out a 1" by 2.5 piece of gold paper. I just thought that just looked a little nicer. So you can change the tone of it, you know, by just changing up the papers. And you know, the glitter paper says fun and flirty, and this one kind of says, you know, a little bit more, maybe like could do this for a wedding favor or something like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and, since I already stamped the other one and I already have everything cut out, I'm just gonna layer it. There we go. Okay, so that'll dry. You can cut this into a banner if you want the banner look. This one I don't want the banner look, so I'm not going to cut it into a banner, but I am going to go ahead and pop it up on some more dimensionals. This one's just going to have a lot of height, but we love height. So, nothing wrong with adding height. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? I do need some in the middle, or else I'm going to have a saggy middle. And we don't want saggy middles. Just add it right in there. Okay, so the card is pretty much done the second we put this on here. So you're going to stick that there, but you know what I want to do? I think I want to go ahead and just stitch the white. And all I did was take the marker and I'll just use the back of a heart. And I just did the quick little tick marks just like that. Nothing fancy. Okay, now that I added some stitching, some faux stitching around, I think it looks really cute. If I had the matching green marker, that probably would have been even cuter, but you know, I'm using what I have. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and pop this right in the center. And now our card is done. I think it's very cute. You could ink edges, you can do what you want. I don't like to keep my cards naked on the inside, and so I would probably add a small little heart in there, or if I had tiny hearts, maybe make a little tiny shamrock. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I think I'm gonna use my Cameo and cut some shamrocks out. It's just quicker and easier, but I wanted to make these projects for anyone, and even in case you don't have a Cameo, you can still do it. Okay, so let's move on to our box, this box right here. On our base page, remember our 6x6 base, we are going to score it at 2 inches on all 4 sides. So we're just gonna go 2, flip it, 2, flip it, 2, flip it. Oh no. I cannot get this measurement. There you go. I mean, you can do 2 and 4 and 2 and 4, however you want to do it. But that's all we need on our base part. Now let's go for our lid. Our lid was 3.5 by 3.5, and we are going to score it at 3/4 on all 4 sides. 3/4 or 3 3/4 or 3/4, whatever. 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. Okay, that is all the scoring we need to do. Now we need to do some cutting. So we're going to go with our lid first. This is a method that I, like I said, something different. You know, normally you cut the 4 tabs and you glue them, whatever. So this way what we're going to do is basically the same, but we're just going to rotate. So we're going to cut on the score line. You're going to chunk out a little piece here, like so, like normal. We're going to turn it like that. You're going to cut up and chunk out. You're always chunking on the squares, not the rectangle. We're going to turn it around again. And you're going to cut up and chunk out. I am not doing a great job cutting today. And then the last one, cut up and chunk out. So it looks a little different. You can do the normal way, but this was just something different. Okay, so same as always, we're going to put glue on the 4 tabs. You can use your score tape. Honestly, you could use your ATG on this one. And then we're just going to fold the flops into the rectangles and just make sure it's kind of lined up. It's not a huge new technique, but it's different. We're not going to do this for the box, so don't try to work ahead because we're not doing the same technique for the box. It's something completely different, okay? Okay, so any overhangs, just, you know, trim them off. This one I didn't get quite in there, so I'm just gonna trim that little tiny slither off that no one but me would ever notice. I mean, it was, look at this, it was so tiny. Okay, there's our lid. Lid's done. Now, let's get to our base box, okay? I'm gonna use my big scissors. Here is the new technique. Instead of cutting up the score lines, what we're gonna do on this bottom, and I'll show you because I scored right there, so I'll show you on this piece. We are going to cut about 1/4 of an inch to the right of the score line. Can y'all see that? Score line, we're gonna cut, it doesn't have to be exact, like so, okay? Got it? For me, this is easy. If I keep my thumb on the center box, I know I'm gonna go to the right, like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut all the way up. So we're left with this little tab. Now we're gonna come in and we're just gonna chunk the tab on both sides, miter it. If you see, like, see how mine still, that knobbly bit still there, go ahead and just cut that off because it's gonna be an overhang. Okay, now we're gonna do the same to this side here. So for now, instead of going, now we're going to cut to the left of the score line, okay? So you see where my thumb is? We're going with this score line to the left. So about 1/4 of an inch, 3/4, whatever. We're just taking the bulk out and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna cut straight up and we're gonna chunk it out. And we're gonna chunk the top. Okay, so now it looks like this. So we have our little tabs. We need to do the same to this other side. So flip it all the way around to the right of that score line. Cut up. You can do it this way too, to the left. Cut. Cut. Chunk. 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 And chunk. That's it. Takes out a lot of the bulk. You can also cut more hearts and make some more shamrocks if you want to. All right, so now we just need to go ahead and varnish. Where's my bone folder? So yes, if you worked ahead and you made the box the normal way, it works. But I just wanted to show you this other technique. Okay, so score tape or glue on your flaps. I'll use score tape because sometimes people want to see both. Just for me, it's quicker. I don't have my 3/8 of an inch score tape, which is my favorite width. I ran out and I just haven't ordered anymore because I have so much 1/4 inch. It's not even funny. Because like I said, I'd rather use my 3/8 of an inch, but I'm not going to buy any until I use the rest of the 1/4 of an inch, which I have like 6 more packs. Okay, so now just take off all of your pieces. You can ink your box edges if you want to. Okay. Now we're just going to build the box. So just take that flap and put it like so. And like so. And there you go. So see on the inside, it just took that, my light is horrible. It just took that bulk out. That's all it did. Okay. And here's our lid. And again, it is very snug. So you gotta kind of wiggle it in there. Okay. Same deal with the hearts. I'm gonna take the lid off. And I'm just gonna place that. I think that's the middle. I already prepped them when I was off camera. So with your lid, because it's smaller, we gotta make sure they're hanging off, which I didn't take that into account when I put the foam tape on. I forgot that step. And actually, I don't even think I used foam tape for that. I'm not gonna use foam tape. That's what I get for trying to think ahead. It's fine. It comes off easily. Okay. So yeah, I forgot. I glued those down. I didn't foam tape them down. No big deal. And how I actually did the top, I just went like this. And that's how I placed mine. The top was easier to do. And I'm going to take some of that foam off, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can overlap them. I was just trying to see if I like the overlap better, which I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and overlap these ones. The other ones I didn't overlap. You know, just however you want to make it look. It's your box. There you go. I just wanted to make sure there was white on all 4 corners. Yeah, that's cute. So these ones are not overlapped. And these ones are. So if you don't have a big sentiment, if you just want to keep it like this, you definitely could. I do have my sentiment, which I did prep. And I want mine to go right here. So there you go. We are done and done, people. Let me go ahead and put this lid. Like I said, the lid is, you guys may want to do a different lid. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Oops, and I moved the glue all around. Make sure you let it dry before you do what I did. Okay, done. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you again the quick flowers that I make. I'm going to attempt to use big scallop circles. So all I do is cut out, actually I use my punches. I punch 4 scallop circles I typically ink the edges in whatever ink color. I'm going to go ahead and use this green. We'll make the green carnation that we see at, the different stores. Let me find my green sponge. I have no idea where my green sponge is. Alright, so I have makeup sponges, I have yellow sponge, I have the Tim Holtz thingies. I'm just going to use the edge of this sponge and just dip it in your ink and go for it. Now, I've never attempted on the big old scallop like this, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, to be honest. But it's the same way I do it with the small. I use scallop circles for carnations. I use the other flower punches to make them look like cottage roses or Tiffany roses or tea time roses. Just however you manipulate your paper or what punch you have. That will dictate the end shape. Okay, so I went ahead and inked all of the circles off camera, and I did spritz these ones already. But all you do is take your layers, and you're going to do all 4 of your layers the same way. You're going to moisten them with water, depending on how thick your cardstock is. If you're using like a thin paper, you don't have to do the water step. But cardstock, because you're just crumpling it up, and after a while, your hand starts to hurt. So you just crumple it up like trash. I like to make sure I get them all nice and crumpled. You don't want to soak your paper, just moisten it. Get them tight. The more wrinkles, the better. And now what we're going to do is unfold them. I ink first because I like the way it looks. It's water-based ink, and so it's going to, drip down the sides a little bit and just kind of make it look more realistic, I think. Okay, so we're going to pop them all out like so. This is a die cut that I had. My paper wasn't big enough, so I will point it out to you, but no one's going to notice. Where is it at? It didn't capture all of the scallops, but I'm not too worried about that. All right, so which one has the most ink and the most wrinkles? That's going to be my top one. All I do is now layer them. I just try to offset them slightly. You don't really have to, but I think it makes the edges a little more frilly. Take your staple in the middle. I think I'm going to do 2 because this is ginormous. Normally I only do 1. You can do staples, you can do brads. Now you're going to pick up your top layer and you're going to crunch it around that staple again. And just keep going. Hey, it's working. And just keep going. This is a lot easier if you have like tissue paper or crepe paper, but right now I have cardstock. Okay, and now the last one, I just usually turn it over and squish it in. I try to take off the square from the bottom and try to make it more round. Hey, it's working. Okay. Okay, so now you have like a carnation bud. And now all you're going to do is take your thumb, put your left thumb, if you're right-handed, put your left thumb on top. If you're left-handed, put your right thumb on top. And you're just going to fluff it out. You don't want your top layer to be too fluffed because you want to cover up that staple. Now sometimes when I have a brad, I want the brad to peep out. So I will open it up. But, and there you go. Big old carnation. Oh crap, my paper was too wet and I just tore it, but you know what? It's fine. Because paper, flowers in nature are not perfect, so you can't even tell. So there you go. You can ink, if you want to add some more ink, by all means add more ink. You just kind of shape it till you get your desired look. That's it. And you can do that apparently with any size. This was a 3-inch, maybe even 4. This was a 4-inch scallop. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.